Today we get power generation going from pretty much only natural resources. Stay tuned. Ooh, welcome friends to a new episode of Feed the Beast Revelation. I'm Clobberstomp. Hope you guys are having a great day. I'm having a really good day, and I want to show you guys I did a lot of work off camera. It's pretty much just I made a path. That's really about it. I made this path out of ash bricks, and I can show you the recipe for these. They're pretty cool because I've been getting a lot of these ash things from my peat engines and things. I figured, you know what, that's what we're going to build stuff with. So I made these cool bridges. They run over the ravine, and I ran it all the way back to my, actually I started at my house. I ran from my house back to spawn to integrate in. So this kind of goes up here, runs around, and we're good. Look at that. Pretty sweet. And then it runs all the way around my house. So, and then I've got it around my peat farm, which is pretty cool. My peat bog, and it just goes around. Pretty cool, right? It looks really nice. I did put this off one way, the wrong way, so now I have a 2 path instead of a 3. I could probably move this whole thing, but it's a lot of effort, so I'm not going to do that. So I just made it a 2 path. All good. I also set up some bees and some trees. We'll get into what this stuff's about in a future episode, but I'm having some issues which we have to work through, which we'll try to work through in the next episode or so. But really what's happening is I want the bees to leave and I want the bees to come back. But right now, when the bees are done, all the bees go into this. I thought the extra utilities transfer pipes worked path of least resistance, shortest path, which is quite possible. But so this would be from here it'd be 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. I thought should be fine. So really the only things that will come back into here would be the bees. But really all I want to pull out is the honeycombs. I'm going to have to work through that, but we'll figure that out. The reason for that is the bees, as they breed each other, they will go and pollinate the trees. We've got birch and oak. We'll talk about all of that in a future episode because the bees will go into the trees, pollinate the leaves, and we'll get new stuff. I got some nether wart here that's been growing, which is cool. Today we want to get power generation going. I have all of the things in here. I have a slot here because I've already tested this and I know how it works, and I broke that. Dang it. Let's fix it. Can we fix it? Yes, we've got one. Sweet. All right, let's do this here and then go boom. Oh, we nailed it. Okay. First thing you need is a centrifuge. Put your centrifuge right down there. Pretty cool. Put that here, and we're going to put an engine right on top. Bam. All right, nailed it. So from the centrifuge, we are going to put a liquid or a item transfer node. Boom. And we're going to use these transfer pipes to go to. So one thing that this is going to do is this is going to make, you're going to put honeycombs in here. Honeycombs are going to produce beeswax and honey. I will show you that wonderful process in a second. But the first thing we need to do is then move all of those items to a squeezer. Squeezer, the honey is going to go into a squeezer and then make liquid honey. Perfect, right? And then the next item is going to be a fermenter. So down below, underneath, you're going to take your squeezer and we're going to pump the honey out of it and we're going to pump it into the fermenter. Hold shift for details. See at the bottom, honey. We can put honey in there. Great. So we are also going to take, what I don't have here is any saplings. So that's fine and dandy. But we're going to add one more section to this. It's kind of a little goofy. So we're going to do this. We're going to break that guy. We're going to get a drum because we want to be able to store more honey than this will hold, because this will only hold 10 buckets, but this will hold a whole bunch of buckets. I don't remember how many it is. And on top of that, this is a little tricky. So you have to jump and hold shift at the same time. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. Bam. So it's facing up. Probably place it first would have been fine. So now what we're going to do is any honey that comes out of here, liquid honey, will go into this thing first, or the drum, and then cycle into that. That way, if this thing's full, this will fill up the drum. That's really what we want. Okay, cool. Perfect. So what we need is some saplings, and we've got a good amount of saplings here. So we're going to take those and chunk those in there. And the other thing that you need is fertilizer. Perfect, right? Let's take 2 of our peat engines and put those right on top. We're going to put a lever on each one of those. Now, this is just kind of getting started. We're not really too far into it. Now, I found an issue with this. What will happen is the beeswax will fill up this thing and it won't go into the squeezer. So what I was doing was putting this here. We have a storage crate, and then I'm piping anything that won't go into here. So pretty cool. That works. So we're going to take those guys there, whoops, and those guys there, and these guys there. Perfect. So these peat-filled engines are all good to go. So now we should make ourselves biomass. Pretty easy. So let's check it out. Let's see if it works. We do have a few honeycombs here from the bees. Looks like we've got 3. Let's go check it out. Let's see what it's if we did what we were supposed to. So let's turn this on. Boom. We're going to turn you on and turn you on. So this is going to put the honeycomb here. We're going to change the centrifuge. It's going to centrifuge the honey out of this thing. It's going to make honey and biomass, or I'm sorry, honey and beeswax. Now, if it makes beeswax, it should go up here. Perfect. That's why I got all these beeswax here. It also will make propolis on certain things, but that's okay because we're going to put different combs in here. It's going to pull honey. So hopefully what we'll do is we'll get some honey that goes in here. So far we have not pulled any honey. That's okay. I've got some. There we go. Some honey goes in here. It's going to squeeze it, put that in here, and then it's going to end up going in here. And now this is going to wait for more honey to, it turns it into biomass, which is sweet, right? So we can now make biomass. Now there's a next step to this. We're going to take the biomass and we're going to pipe it to, how do I have 2 of those? That's weird. Biogenerator. I must have been testing something. To a biogenerator. So biogas or biomass will go into this, and this will take the biomass out of there, and then it will turn it into that stuff. Perfect, right? So the other thing that we can do is, since we've got that there, we can also pump that into an electrical engine. Or, I'm sorry, a biogas engine. That's not what we want. We want the biogas engine. Get your trusty deal. It won't let me do it. Really? Weird. Oh, that's why. Let's put this here. And then let's do this. That's what I was doing. No, here. There we go. There we go. So now I can get rid of this. So now this engine will also take biogas, but it requires lava. So that is just a secondary tool. This is now going to turn all of that bioethanol or biomass into, biomass is going to turn into EU. Now we can take this and we can pump it into a power cell. And we will use the power cell that already has some stuff in it. Let's do this, boom. And now we can put a lever on top of this guy, turn it on, and now this should be filling up with the power that we're converting the EU to RF, and now we can store it. We now have storage, power storage. It is working. We have successfully turned peat and honey and tree saplings into RF. How cool is that? Okay, we can take this one step further even. So let me put these in there. I've got some of those. That's going to run because these still have some power. I've turned them off because they are overheating. That's okay. That's fine. So we'll let that run. Actually, we'll turn that one on because that's okay. So this is going to create honey. It's going to put honey in here. Very nice. So we're actually going to take this one step further and turn this into a still. So we're going to take all of the biomass that we create that gets squeezed into honey and made from saplings and fertilizer is going to turn into a still. Pretty cool. So we're going to put biomass in there, and we will turn that into ethanol. So then what we can do is we can pump that into this guy with another, do we have one? Yes, we do. One last one. I'm going to have to make some more of those. We're going to pump all this out of there, and we're going to pump the ethanol into this, which is going to make a lot more. Ethanol will give us a lot more. All right, we're going to turn you on. We're going to get a bunch of honey in here so we can check it out, so we can see how this works. So we've got some biomass in there. I don't know how much does it take. 10 millibuckets to make 3 millibuckets of ethanol. But this does 40 UI per tick, or 15,000 ticks. Now, what was biomass? It doesn't tell you, so that's interesting. We're going to turn this off because I don't want that to run. I want the ethanol to go in here, and we want to see missing liquid resources. Oh, it's just missing more ethanol. Or I'm guessing we need one of these guys. Or does this actually require power too? It does. Yeah, so we need to get another engine. Do we have one? Let me see. I do. I made a couple of them, thank goodness. So let's do this. We're going to put you on top of there, and then we'll put that there. And let's get some. So did that stop running just because it's hot? All right, we're going to turn you off. We're going to let that run. This will fill up. That's okay. We've got some beeswax going. This will turn that into biomass. Okay, and we'll put the peat in here. Sounds like it doesn't have enough, perhaps. Missing liquid resources. Maybe it needs more to actually do it. More liquid resources needed to be supplied for the operation before it'll actually turn. Okay. Where are we at here? So, put you away. All right, well, let's turn that on. We're going to squeeze you. All right. And we'll turn you off. And let's turn this guy on. Now, this is a little bit of a manual process right now, but that's okay. That's fine. We've got some in there, and so that is plenty. This doesn't have enough. It just needs 10 millibuckets. Interesting. Don't really know how the still works. I'm guessing you just need... It just doesn't have enough? Weird. I'm going to have to look into why this is happening. Okay, so that's heating up. Turn you off because that's still working, obviously. Interesting. Turn you on. Squeeze the honey. Turn you off. Turn that in there. All right, well, I'm gonna take a look at this and see if I can figure out what's going on. I must be missing something here. Okay, well, I have it running, so I think it has to get to a certain point before it'll actually try to still any stuff. Oh, and look at, so ethanol is so much more, well, oh, that's biomass. We don't want that. Here, we want, oh, I see what's happening. Okay, let's do this. So this should only get ethanol now. Let's have all the biomass go. There we go. That's what we want. So this was obviously causing an issue. Okay, so that's full. Oh, does this not... Interesting, it's not moving the ethanol. All right, let's see if maybe it'll come out the bottom. Maybe that's our issue. Let's put this guy here. There we go. Okay, so now we can go boom, boom, boom. Honey? Oh, this is not right. Okay, so that's obviously causing an issue, so we don't want any honey to go... Oh, I get it. Okay, so we've got a little tailoring to do here. So let's use this. Boom. And let's put this guy here and go... So this should get ethanol. Will it work with ethanol? It works with biogas or biomass. So actually I can just take that out because it's not going to work. Because we're skipping... I guess it would work. It could work, but we don't need it to. So I lost a bunch of honey doing that scenario because it went to the engine and not here. Okay. We have to be a little bit careful. Okay, let's turn you back on. All right. So that all should work, but once this gets to a certain point, this should be good. And should run. Yeah, now it has ethanol in it. So now we can probably do this. And this is going to go up by a bunch. And it's going to pump all of this. Wonder how quick that goes. One at a time. Okay. So we have it working. That's good. Oh yeah, this is jumping up fast. So we might have to upgrade these power cells pretty quick. And so the plan, I think, in the future is to maybe have numerous centrifuges, numerous squeezers. Why are you not running? No power. I don't understand. It has a peat-filled engine to it. Yeah, so numerous squeezers, numerous fermenters doing a bunch of work to move everything to a still, and then two biogenerators or an array of stills and biogenerators, and then put that into electrical engines, which then turns it into RF, which is really what we want. So that's good. And then we can take engines off of those and turn it into the energy cells. So now we are creating power. It's really convoluted, right? But who doesn't like, I mean, what's the point of doing it super simple when you can do it very difficult? That's still chunking away. This is getting more. I don't know why this is not getting... Okay, we're going to do this and this. Requires redstone. Ah, now it's working. So obviously there's some wiring issues I had going on that might have been making this not so efficient. So the cool thing is if we have these all on a separate toggle, we can stop the system anywhere. So yes, I can move, everything will move into here, but this will just fill up. Eventually this will lose all its power, but once all the honey gets squeezed into here, this will just start to fill up. Yeah, see, now it's filling up. There we go. So now we could fill that up. We could then turn it on, put it all in the still, and the still is moving more ethanol. There we go. So this is going to turn that in the still into ethanol. I wonder how much, so it'll take 300 or 100 millibuckets and turn it into, okay, 300 or 1,000. It'll take a full bucket and turn it into 300. So that's quite a bit, and this is just going to keep going. And we can put cards in these electrical engines to make them more efficient too. So we could actually get better power consumption from them too. We could get wax capsules and also fill this up as well. But we have power generation at this point. How cool is that? We have successfully turned bees or honey, and you could do this with fruit juice too if you wanted. Really, you just need to get anything into a fermenter with plants. So let's say oak saplings, and you can then use fertilizer and turn that into biomass or short mead, so you can make some drinks. You can put that into a still, and you don't have to. You can bypass the still and just use straight ethanol or straight biomass, but ethanol, you can turn it into ethanol and you get a better power output. So that's really good. Perfect. I don't know if there's any loss here. There might be loss. There's not so much loss in any of this stuff, but the loss might be here. I'm not sure. What is the tick rate on this? 20 RF per tick. I wonder how many ticks it is dropping each one. I'm not sure, but either way, it may not be the most efficient power source out there, but we have one, and it's all of these resources are regeneratable. Regeneratable. That's not even a word. They regenerate. Yeah, that's it. They all regenerate themselves. So this is perfect. So yeah, this is gonna fill that up and move this over once that still gets done. So we'll see. Okay, this is almost done here. Let's let that finish, and we'll see what this goes up. So we're at 200 something. Let's see here. Okay, jumps up 300 roughly. Cool. Let's turn that off. We'll let that finish, and this is going to continue to pump in RF. we now can make RF. All right, friends. Well, I hope you've enjoyed this episode. I most certainly did. It was a lot of fun getting this all together. So as always, please like and share on your favorite social media. Catch you guys in the next episode.